Grade 3. I hope you're all safe and healthy and you're all taking all the precautions that you should be taking at this time because it's very important to stay healthy at this time. And before I start today's lesson, I want to make sure that you've seen that video that I sent you in the day plan, other than this one, because I am going to use it as a reference many times in this video. So it's better if you've seen that video. And as you all know, we're doing a lesson on sound and how it's made and everything. And in the last lesson, we learned how there were different kinds of sound, good ones and bad ones, pleasant and noise. And then we saw how it was produced, how sound was caused, and that was by vibration of particles. And if they vibrate very fast, the pitch of the sound produced is high, and if they vibrate less, the pitch of the sound produced is low. And we also looked at instruments which create sound by hitting or plucking. And in today's lesson, we are going to look at those instruments which use air to make sound. Now, before we actually look at those instruments, let me tell you something very interesting. When we speak, we also use air to produce sound. Like, for example, right now, as I speak, air that is passing through my throat is producing sound. So, at this point, you must think that if air produces sound in our throats, it must vibrate inside our throats, right? Because sound is made only by vibrations, right? So, look at this one. It's also given in your book, and they are asking you to place two of your fingers on your throat and then hum and see if your vocal cords are vibrating. So, as I speak, I have put my fingers on my throat and I can feel it vibrate. You can do the same, either hum or speak something, and you will see that something inside your throat, it starts to vibrate. You can feel vibrations. So, vibrations are what produce sound in our throat as well. So, now we're going to start reading the lesson and I'm going to explain as we go. The sound of your voice also comes from vibrations. You are able to speak or sing because your vocal cords vibrate. When you speak, your vocal cords tighten, they vibrate as air passes between them. The tighter your vocal cords get, the higher the pitch of your voice becomes. So, this means that if there is less air inside something, it is going to produce more sound, louder sound. And this there is more air, then the sound produced would be less. You might have seen that video that I was mentioning earlier. In that video as well, the lady who is showing us all these different instruments, she uses a straw to produce sound, right? And as she cuts the straw short, there is less air inside the straw. The sound that the straw is producing is more. So, as little the air is inside something, the higher is the pitch of sound that it produces. So, less air means more sound, and more air means less sound. Moving on to the next paragraph. Wind instruments make sound when air inside them vibrates. Now, do you remember that video? In that video, they show you how air is going inside the flute or the clarinet and how it is vibrating inside the clarinet, and that is what produces sound. And they also show you how there are different holes inside those instruments, and if you block those holes, different kind of sound is produced, and when you let them open, different kind of sound is produced. So it is all about controlling how air passes through an instrument, and that decides what kind of sound is going to be produced. You make sounds. I'm reading from the second line of second paragraph. You make sounds with a trumpet by blowing into it and vibrating your lips. This makes the air inside the trumpet vibrate. And this vibration will do what? Make sound. You can change the pitch of a trumpet. What is pitch? The intensity of sound that is coming out of trumpet. So we can change that by how? In two ways. One is to change how your lips vibrate. One is to change our lips, and the other is to press on the valves of the trumpet. This changes the length of the vibration air column inside the trumpet. Now,